Everyone, welcome to the Scott Gamber Show. I'm John Rourke, sports editor of the Mount Vernon Register News. And Coach, going back to last weekend, we played a very tough Carbondale team on the road. As you said in your post-game comments, you didn't come with very much intensity early. You played hard late and made them work for it, but still came up short 5-2.
We did. Last week we played in the game like we practiced during the week, and that's something that we can't have. We had a horrible week last week of practice, very little energy, very little emotion, and it just carried over. And I try to harp on, you can't turn things on and off like a light switch. The way you practice is what you're going to do once it comes to a game. And we did not play well early in that game. We got down too big against a good team. I was proud of the way our kids battled back at the end, but I was very disappointed in the effort for a game, for the whole game.
And conversely, Coach Miller talked about that intensity too, as one of the first things out of his mouth. With our kids came with intensity after not playing so well. One team had played well here, and we did against Marion, and they didn't play so well against Centralia, and it's just, I guess, reverse roles like that.
We did, and some of that's, being at home, being on the road, but our guys have got to find a way to play well on the road because, it's easy to get up for a home game when our crowd's going, but it takes toughness to go on the road and do the same thing.
And vice versa, then I guess we were both down in Marion on Saturday. I think maybe the way that you finished that game Friday night may have taken a little bit out of Carbondale because when push came to shove against Scott County, they didn't have the legs.
No, and Scott County's a good team. Scott County's a lot better than what we are. I mean, their guard, the Bobby Hatchett kid we saw this summer, he's really good. And then the Otto kid, their big 6'8" kid, is a nice player. And that's a team that won the state championship last year. It's a small school in Missouri. And, they're a very good basketball team. They could do things to Carbondale that we are not able to do.
Now we look forward to this week. First off, you got the pairings for the Centralia All-Day Tournament. And your first round draw is a pretty tough one.
It is. Champaign Central's good. Their record does not reflect how good they are because of the people they play. But I look at it like this: if we played their schedule, I don't think we'd be much better than 2-4 either. I mean, I think that, and if they played our schedule, I think they'd be at least 4-2, maybe 5-1. So, records you can kind of throw out the door on that one because when Belleville-Althoff got the pairings for their Christmas tournament, they were 3-3 at the time. They're a better team than 3-3. So it's a very difficult game, and hopefully we can play well. It'd be nice to get on that winner's side of the bracket because that's a big difference.
Now we go this weekend. Centralia Orphans Friday night and throw out the records. I mean, it's a rivalry. You played in it, you coached in it, and you take your first Rams team in there.
This is going to be a good game for us. I think both of us are a lot alike in a lot of different ways. I think the style of play that we both would like to play is similar. I think a lot of the things we try to do defensively is similar. And last year in every game we played them, that score was, I think one time a team reached the 40-point plateau. And I look for a lot of the same of that. I think both teams are going to try to take away the other one's strengths. And I expect it to be a good game. But our guys have got to be ready. Centralia's a difficult place to play. Centralia's really good at home. They're a very well-coached basketball team. We've got to be ready from the get-go.
And only one senior on the roster, that's Brandon Buchanan.
Yeah, again, a lot like us. Buchanan's the one guy that had experience. Now, their difference is R.J. Kukuski's only a junior. This is his third year as a varsity starter. He started varsity as a freshman. Muhammad he started last year for him. He played some. They've got the more experience as far as in varsity games, but I think we're very evenly matched.
And what's the big key in that game? I mean, other than keeping the score down, I mean, what's your focus on Friday?
Well, they've got five. At almost every time, they've got 5 guys out on the floor that can all shoot the basketball. We've got to do a good job of closing out to their shooters, not letting them get any open looks, because I think that's their strength. Their two strengths are they're very well coached and they can all shoot the basketball very well. And we've got to defend that better. And then we've got to take advantage of matchups in different areas.
And this is a ball club that not only going to be familiar with the trophy, going to get to be very familiar with their floor, having played there before the holiday tournament, playing the holiday tournament, and turn right back around and go to their shootout the first week of January.
And our guys like playing at Centralia, so I think that's a good thing. That's a really nice new gym. Our guys seem to like playing there, so I'm glad we play almost as many games at Centralia as we do at Mount Vernon this year. So.
Definitely for the first part. Then Saturday you have a unique little trip over. It's going to be a battle of the orange and black on it. A trip to Waterloo to play the football.
Yeah, and Waterloo, you hear in college sports they talk about a trap game and whatnot, and that's kind of what that is for us. We're playing our rival. There's a lot of emotion that goes into Friday night. Win or lose, that takes a lot out of you. And we've got to be able to, no matter what happens Friday night, we've got to get our guys back up, come in, practice well Saturday morning, get on the bus, and go to Waterloo. That's not easy. It's an early game, which we're not used to. It's a long trip, and it's after a game against our rivals. So.
And also, they have the night off. They don't play Friday night.
Yeah, and so our guys.
So it's track.
It is. Our guys need to know that we're not good enough to show up and beat anybody. We've got to go hard. We've got to do things right, or else we'll be sadly disappointed.
Centralia week, does that kind of boost things up in practice?
It does. It does. I think just from the standpoint of, a lot of our guys know their guys, and it does. It makes things. There's already that little bit of intensity there. On top of the fact, I think our guys are a little down about the way they played. I think there's a lot of factors to that.
Happy with the way you finished, though, last Friday night?
With the way we finished, yeah. Overall, not very happy, but I was glad that we got down 15 there. We could have easily let that get to 20 or so, and to battle back and get it to 5, I was pleased with. But our guys have got to have the toughness to not let it get to that point to start with. We got to come out with more energy, and we've got to play harder. We cannot go through the motions.
Just didn't take care of the basketball.
We didn't. We were very sloppy with the basketball. We didn't close out well. We were real lazy in our 1-3-1. There's just a lot of bad things that day.
What do you adjust to that? Is it something similar you're going to pull to try to bring out against the Orphans on Friday night?
I think maybe it's a different game. But I mean, yeah, it's something that we're going to throw out there, probably at any game, depending on situations. And we've worked a lot on what we did wrong at Carbondale. And the good thing is that watching on film, it's correctable mistakes. We were doing things that are very correctable, and hopefully we'll do better.
I know that there were a couple of sets that you called, and just at some point they just weren't running.
Yeah, and I think some of that was Carbondale gets out in the passing lanes a lot. I think that instead, our guys saw a driving lane and they tried to take it instead of following through. And that's what our guys need to realize is the teams that try to get after you in the passing lanes, they're wanting to get you to play faster. They're trying to take you out of those sets. And when you break free from that, you're playing right into their game plan. That's what their goal is. It's not to get a steal every time. They're trying to get a turnover for the most part, speed you up, make you do things that you normally wouldn't do, and that's what Carbondale did to us.
Do you think the situation came up Friday night? You talked about it after the game, where you made wholesale substitutions after you didn't hustle back on a situation like that. Do you think they got that after that?
I think so. They seem to this week. They seem to. We practiced Saturday morning there, and they seem to pick up on it. I think that they kind of learned, hopefully, a lesson there. But I guess only time will tell in a game situation how much they have.